Year 2214. The record that initiated the investigation did not come from urban censors or historical archives. It came from a video. Two teenagers were exploring the underground vaults of Edinburgh, recording content for social media. The goal was to show old places in the city that, according to tourists, seemed haunted. The area was made up of narrow stone corridors illuminated by small lamps installed to preserve the historic structures. During the recording, something interrupted their conversation. A sound, scraping, coming from beneath the stone. The microphone captured the noise clearly. The two remained silent for a few seconds, trying to understand where the sound was coming from. One of them lowered the camera toward the floor, while the other watched the empty corridor. Nothing moved. Then one of the teenagers tapped his foot on the ground, laughing at the situation. Two short taps. Silence. A few seconds later, the ground responded. Two knocks. The two looked at each other, trying to decide whether it had been an echo or a coincidence. The sound did not repeat. The video ended a few seconds later. They never returned to that corridor. A few months later, during a guided visit to the city's tourist vaults, a visitor interrupted the group at the same point in the corridor. She was walking a few steps behind the guide when she stopped abruptly and said she felt someone behind her. It was not a sudden fright, but a persistent sensation of presence, as if someone were standing very close in silence. The guide immediately looked back. The corridor was empty, and there were no other people in that section of the gallery. Even so, the visitor insisted that she had felt something. It was not physical contact or movement of air. It was simply the certainty that she was not alone at that point in the corridor. At the exact moment she stopped, the city's environmental sensors recorded a small vibration in the floor, precisely in that area. The system classified the event as microstructural interference, and the record was archived as a technical failure. Later, when technicians reviewed the data, they noticed a curious detail. The vibration had occurred at exactly the same point where the video had been recorded months earlier. When the video began circulating on the local network, the city's environmental monitoring systems were reviewed. Sensors installed in the underground vaults had been monitoring structural vibrations for years as part of the city's preservation programs and the protection of its subterranean historical heritage. During the analysis of the records, technicians noticed that small vibrations had been detected several times over the years at the same point in the corridor. The events were rare and almost always too weak to trigger automatic alerts or any immediate investigation. Another detail drew attention. Many of these records had occurred when people were passing through the area. During the historical review of the structure, an old report was found. It was a technical report from the early 20th century describing an inspection of the city's underground vaults. The document was signed by a member of the municipal council, Malcolm Reed. After reviewing the records and analyzing the video, the researchers decided to reproduce the event exactly as it had occurred. In the same corridor and at the exact point where the video had been recorded, a high-precision seismic sensor was installed directly on the stone floor. Other sensors were positioned around the structure to record any secondary movement. The lead researcher positioned himself exactly where the teenager had tapped his foot in the video. For a few seconds, he remained motionless. The corridor was completely silent. Then he reproduced the gesture. 2 short knocks on the ground. The sensors recorded the vibrations immediately. For a few seconds, nothing happened. The team began reviewing the monitors when a new reading appeared in the system. 2 vibrations coming from beneath the stone. They were not echoes of the initial knocks. The frequency was different, and the sensors confirmed the direction of the movement. The vibration had originated from the other side of the stone. The geological hypothesis was discarded at that moment. Something was responding. That was when the excavation was authorized. The structural wall was removed in the winter of 2214. The teams began by removing stone blocks that were not part of the original construction of the vaults. Behind the wall, there was a space that did not appear in the city's architectural plans. A small chamber, no ventilation, no architectural record of any kind. The walls were irregular, as if the space had been sealed after it already existed. When the lighting was directed toward the floor, the researchers immediately noticed the marks in the stone. Hundreds of deep lines scratched across the floor, some shallow, others cutting into the stone with enough force to form long grooves. All of them were concentrated in the same point, the base of the wall that had blocked the exit. The marks did not appear on the other walls of the chamber. All the effort seemed to have been concentrated in that single place, as if someone had spent days scraping the ground, always trying to deepen the same groove, trying to dig a passage, trying to get out. The excavation revealed fragments mixed into the compacted soil of the chamber. Dark wool textile fragments, a metal button bearing the seal of the Edinburgh Municipal Council used in the early 20th century, as well as extremely degraded bone fragments and preserved human teeth. In the year 2214, identification no longer depended only on appearance. The remains were analyzed using a 3-dimensional osteometric scanner. The fragmented bone structure was digitally reconstructed and compared with historical biometric records preserved in the city archives. The match indicated a single possible individual, Malcolm Reed. The historical records were cross-referenced again. An underground inspection report signed by Reed, the date of the inspection, the date of the supposed international departure, the ship's original passenger list. His name was not there. The investigative conclusion changed completely. Malcolm Reed did not disappear during a trip. Malcolm Reed never left Edinburgh. Malcolm Reed never left the chamber. Before sealing the space again, the researchers conducted one final test. A vibration sensor was placed on the floor of the chamber, and the question was recorded in audio. "Who is here?" For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then the sensors registered movement, 2 short knocks, the same pattern detected in the video. The chamber was sealed again, not out of fear, but by administrative decision. Edinburgh continued functioning. Tourists continued walking through the old streets. Restaurants continued serving near South Bridge. The city remained efficient, organized, prosperous. And beneath it, in a space that was never officially recorded, the sensors continued registering scraping against the stone. I observe cities that celebrate efficiency. I observe systems that learn to record the impossible. And I observe what remains when a name is removed from the records. The city continues. I continue. If you wish to continue observing what does not appear in official records, remain, because some structures do not disappear with time, they simply wait.